You didn't attract the wrong person once. You attracted the same wrong person in a different body 4 times in a row. And somewhere in the back of your mind, you've wondered, is something wrong with me? Here's what nobody tells you about that pattern. It's not your taste, it's not your standards, and it's definitely not bad luck. There is a specific psychological mechanism running quietly in the background of every relationship you have ever chosen. And once I show it to you, you will never be able to unsee it. Stay with me, because this one might change everything. Let me guess. You got out of a relationship. Maybe it took everything you had to leave. You healed, you grew, you told yourself, I know better now. And then you met someone new. Different face, different name, different city maybe, but somehow the same emotional unavailability, the same hot and cold, the same feeling of chasing someone who never fully shows up. And you're standing there thinking, how did I end up here? Again? Here's what most people do at this point. They blame their picker. I just have terrible taste in people. Or they blame the other person. Everyone out there is emotionally unavailable. Or, and this one hurts the most, they start wondering if maybe they are the problem. But here's what I want you to understand before we go any further. You are not broken. You are not cursed. You are not unlovable. You are running a pattern, and patterns, unlike personality flaws, can be understood, they can be traced, and they can be changed. So let's do that right now. Psychologists call it repetition compulsion. It sounds clinical, but it's actually one of the most human things you can do. Here's the simple version. Your brain learned what love looks like in your earliest relationships. Not what love should look like, what it felt like in your house growing up. And here's the part that changes everything. Your nervous system doesn't search for what's good for you. It searches for what's familiar. Think about it. If love in your childhood felt like earning attention from someone distracted, you will unconsciously seek out partners whose attention you have to earn. If love felt like walking on eggshells, you will feel strangely comfortable with people who are unpredictable, not because you want to suffer, but because your nervous system registers that discomfort as home. And here's where it gets really interesting. When you meet someone who is genuinely calm, consistent, and emotionally available, a lot of people feel nothing. Or worse, bored. Not because that person is wrong for you, but because your nervous system doesn't recognize healthy love as love yet. It registers it as unfamiliar, and unfamiliar can feel like a lack of chemistry. Sit with that for a second. Now I want to walk you through 3 specific patterns, and I want you to be honest with yourself as I describe them. Not to judge yourself, just to see yourself, maybe clearly for the first time. Pattern 1, the rescuer. You are drawn to people who need fixing, people who are lost, struggling, or emotionally wounded. And it feels like love, deep love, the kind that means something. But underneath it, and this might sting a little, there's a belief that you are most valuable when you are needed. That love has to be earned through your effort and sacrifice. This usually starts in childhood, when love felt conditional, when you got attention for being helpful, being good, being needed. And so now, you unconsciously seek out people who will recreate that dynamic. Because at least there, you know your role. Pattern 2, the chaser. You are most attracted to people who keep you guessing. They're interested. Then they pull back. They're warm, Then they go cold. And instead of walking away, you work harder. Therapists call this an anxious attachment response. Your brain interprets their inconsistency as a challenge to be won. And every small moment of connection releases dopamine, not because they're right for you, but because the relief of finally being chosen temporarily is intoxicating. The chase becomes the relationship. And when you do meet someone who is consistently kind, it feels flat, like something's missing. What's missing is the anxiety you've mistaken for passion. Pattern 3, the invisible one. This is the quietest pattern and the most painful. You attract people who don't fully see you. Not because you're invisible, but because somewhere along the way, you learned to shrink. You learned that taking up too much space, wanting too much, needing too much, was a problem. So you made yourself smaller. You became agreeable, easygoing, flexible, and you attracted people who were very happy to take exactly what you gave, without asking what you needed in return. This pattern doesn't look like conflict from the outside. It looks like a perfectly fine relationship. But inside, you feel deeply unseen and deeply alone. Now, before I show you what actually breaks this cycle, I want to ask you something. Which of those 3 patterns sounds most like you? The rescuer, the chaser, or the invisible one? Drop it in the comments right now. Not for me, but because naming it out loud is actually the first step. There's something powerful about saying, "This is the pattern I've been in." It stops being your identity and starts being something you can work with. Okay, here's what most content in this space gets wrong. They tell you, raise your standards, know your worth, love yourself first. And look, none of that is wrong. But it skips the part where they tell you how. Because you can know your worth intellectually and still walk into the same relationship 6 months later. The reason? Your nervous system hasn't caught up with your mindset yet. So here's what actually shifts the pattern. Step 1. Learn to recognize your nervous system's reaction, not your thoughts. Before you decide if you're attracted to someone, ask yourself, what does my body feel like around this person? Are you relaxed? Or are you slightly anxious? Slightly activated? Slightly on edge? That edge? That electricity you might be calling chemistry. Pay attention to it. Is it excitement? Or is it the familiar discomfort your nervous system is calling home? Step 2. Deliberately sit with the discomfort of something new. If consistency makes you feel bored, stay anyway. Not forever. Just long enough to let your nervous system recalibrate. The feeling of too good to be true around a healthy person isn't intuition. It's exposure anxiety. Your brain is meeting something unfamiliar and flagging it as suspicious. That's not your gut. That's your pattern protecting itself. Step 3. Find the original wound. Not to relive it, but to release it. Every pattern has a root. Usually, it's in your first experience of love with a parent, a caregiver, an older sibling. The goal isn't to blame them. The goal is to see clearly. Oh, I learned that love looked like this, and I've been recreating it ever since. That moment of clarity, that's not just emotional, it's neurological. When you consciously name a pattern, you activate the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that makes choices rather than just reactions. You move from automatic to intentional. And that, right there, is where the cycle starts to break. Here's the most important thing I want you to take from this video. You have never been attracted to a type of person. You've been attracted to a feeling that was wired into you before you were old enough to question it. And for years, maybe decades, you've been walking into relationships carrying that old feeling like a compass. Except it wasn't pointing you toward love. It was pointing you toward familiarity. And the work, the real work, isn't about finding better people. It's about becoming someone whose nervous system can finally recognize safe love as love. Someone who doesn't need chaos to feel chemistry. Someone who doesn't need to earn their place. Someone who can sit in something calm and consistent and think, yes, this is what I actually wanted all along. That version of you isn't a distant future. It's one pattern away. If something in this video hit differently, if you recognized yourself in one of those patterns, I want you to subscribe. Not because I asked you to, but because this is the kind of content I make every single week.